Good morning. I'm near the model railway kind of tourist attraction in a place called Point Richards near Portarlington. I'm just going to go for a bit of a walk around here. It's a Saturday in early May or early May. Beautiful day down on the Bellarine Peninsula in Victoria. So yeah, I'm going to go for a bit of a walk from Point Richards down to Portarlington. So it should be a pretty relaxed kind of walk and then swing back through some parks and wetlands, I think. Starting off on the beach, so I'll swing the camera out and show you what I'm looking at. So this is the Point Richards boat ramp where I'm starting. And that's the model railway kind of enclosure over there. I'm heading along the beach for a little bit. So there's a bit more of that railway. Portarlington Railway. I've copped a pretty high tide. It is pretty well high tide at the moment. So thankfully I'm not walking much of this beach. Although it's not too bad by the look of it so far. So those mountains, that's the Yangs. So I've walked the beach down to the sailing club, and now I'm going to pick up this shared path in front of the caravan park here. So the Bellarine Peninsula is one of the two big peninsulas around Melbourne. You've got the Mornington Peninsula on the other side. This is a more sleepy kind of place to visit compared to the Mornington Peninsula. So it's pretty quiet down here in the caravan park in early May. School holidays are finished in Victoria. The weather's still surprisingly warm and mild though. It's going to be about 18 today. So I'm on Portarlington Pier. There's it's like a working, I think there are commercial boats that come in here. You can get some freshly cooked mussels over there at that caravan. I'm actually heading up into town on a roundabout route to catch up with Sam. We're going to have some lunch in town somewhere. Sam's just been doing a little retail therapy in town. So it's looking like there's no shortage of food options there. This is where I'm kind of swinging around, heading up into town, then I'm heading back via an inland section. Geez, that tent looks like it's been there for a while. They're mowing around it. So I'm heading through the park. I'm off the foreshore now. It's kind of towards the centre of town. I just got to find Sam. Okay, lunch was enjoyed at the bakehouse. Let's get on with it, eh? Tirana's in good nick. So I'm just walking suburban streets in Portarlington and check out the old historic mill. Oh, it looks pretty well locked up to me. It's a fairly inconspicuous spot with all these kind of houses around it. Anyway, oh, that's as close as I'm getting to the old mill. She's well and truly locked up. It's a nice looking old building though. Alright, let's get back on my way back towards Point Richards. Well, I just added a bit to my stats. Climb this hill. I was meant to cut through the football ground down here. Anyway, probably added half a K to the walk, I guess. Not the end of the world though. It's a pretty nice day for a walk. And I've got plenty of time. Okay. Made it back to where I should have turned off at the oval there. So I'm looking for a path now. It goes kind of through the oval. And there's another oval over the back there. And into some kind of salt marsh, wetlands areas, which will no doubt be bone dry. However, it's my ongoing route, so I've got to find it. Okay. I think I'm picking up that track through there, which will take me in a bit of native bush. I think it looked like, from what I could tell on the drive in, it looked like a lot of salt marshes and wetlands. However, I only had a very quick glimpse on the way past, so I could be wrong here. I wonder what kind of bird that is. It's not really going to come up on the camera, I don't think. Okay, I was looking for those trees, I think those mature eucalypts. I think I meant to swing down here. I walked about 20 metres up there before I realised this bit in the native bush isn't signposted. So I'm using a book out of Best Walks of the, what's it called? Best Walks of Geelong, the Bellarine and Brisbane Ranges. Oops, there's my finger. And it was written back in, or published back in 2013, so it's about 12 years old. So I'm thinking some things may have changed on the ground. It's been fairly accurate so far. It's just this little bit here with a lot of left and rights and no signposting to speak of. You've got to kind of keep your eye out. There's a lot of tracks through here. Not that you're going to go seriously wrong. You just might add a few 100 metres to your stats for the day. So I'm walking past a heap of jumps. This used to be an old like horse racing pony kind of club field from what I can gather. I'm trying to make my way into the official wetlands section now. I'm hoping this is the right track. We shall see. All right, I'm walking this sandy track along the edge. That's the fence on the left is the side of the border of the wetlands. And wetlands to my right. So I'm doing a bit of a circumnavigation of the wetlands now. Once you get into the wetlands, head towards the houses, I guess, if you're following the notes. So it looks like I'm following the boundary loop of the wetlands. On my map, on my digital map, it's showing this is where the actual water bit of the wetlands is, down here on the left. So we'll see. It's super dry, so I'm not holding my breath for water, but you never know. Okay, so there's a few signposts in this wetland section by the look of it. So I've swung left onto the growling grass frog circuit. Well, this is nice. So I'm just kind of making this up a bit on my own now. It only bears a passing resemblance to what I've got in my guidebook. I'm just checking out a few tracks as I make my way around the wetlands that I haven't seen any water, obviously. So I think I'm heading out to the boundary along the side of the road now. Okay, just come down there. I've hit this boundary track now. I started the walk down here at the beach, at the coast, so I follow the boundary track back. I'm looking at these houses. I'm not sure they were even here when this walk was written up 12 years ago. So this is probably the best bit of the walk. And there are a few tracks around here that are marked. I reckon come back in winter when there's a bit of water around, it might be a little bit more interesting than it was at the moment. It's just too dry. Okay, I can see the bay in front of me. And that's pretty much the car park at the end of the walk, so not long to go. Okay, if you follow the inside of the boundary fence along this kind of dirt, sandy track, there's no way out. You've got to scoot through this wire fence beside me, so keep that in mind. There is a gate. You can walk down the road a little bit earlier on, but I'm going to have to climb over this. So. All right, that's the end of the walk over there. Okay, I'm just walking the miniature railway line back to the start of the walk. That walk came about, 7.8 k's and about 60 metres climbing. I think the majority of the climbing is where I missed the footy oval and went up the hill a little bit. Anyway, it's a pretty easy walk whichever way you go. I'm thinking this walk's probably better in winter when there may be a bit more water in the wetlands and the bushes and it's desiccated. But it has been a very dry autumn so far. I use the notes out of, like I mentioned before, was it Best Walk of the, hang on, let me grab the book out. Okay, Best Walks of Geelong, the Bellarine Peninsula and the Brisbane Ranges, or the Bellarine and the Brisbane Ranges. A book by Mundy from Woodslane. So yeah, if you want to follow the exact route, you'll need that book. Basically, I use the book as a rough guide and then just use the maps out of all trails to kind of connect the dots, which is why I got off route a few times. All right, I've got to find Sam. I'm not too sure where she is. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Take it easy.